hate to say I told you so. I told you so. This was always bound to happen. And now, it's about making the right decision. I'm sorry, Frank, but I think it's time to go. I don't want to say that. I love this man, but I can't stand this one. I can't lie. Welcome to the Kafka's View, and today's video is one that's going to be a little bit difficult to make. Look, growing up young, Frank Lampard was one of my favourite Chelsea players. How couldn't it be? He scored all the goals, he got a lot of assists, and he was there to win a lot of trophies with our club. And for that, I will forever be grateful. But for what he's doing right now as a manager, it's hard for me to see because the team I love is struggling. £250 million spent, and we're not even in a title race that 7 teams are in. Like, can you actually deep it? Realistically, mathematically, 7 teams could win the title, and we're not even in it. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Today, I'm going to give you guys a video, alright? And in this video is going to be a few reasons why I think Frank Lampard's time at Chelsea needs to be up. You guys are going to most probably be frustrated. A lot of you are going to be angry. A lot of you are going to be celebrating. But this is about bringing the community together and us talking. So in the comments below, just give me a plain simple. Give Frank more time, or thank you, Frank, but it's time to go. Hit the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Listen, if we hit 200 likes, this will go out and YouTube will push it to a lot more fans. So help me out, do this, and let's get into it. Every mainstream media outlet is reporting Frank could get sacked. ESPN are leading with it. Sky Sports are leading with it. Fabrizio Romano is coming out and quoting that the fans, the board is not happy. They are furious, to quote. So I think it is acceptable that I give you my 4 reasons why Frank will be leaving the club and should leave the club. Am I happy about it? Yes, because I want my club back. But am I happy that it's Frank Lampard getting the boot? No, I'm not going to lie to you. I love the player. I loved the player. I hate the manager. Like, I can't stand his tactics and they infuriate me, but I love the man. And it's hard to remove the sentiment. That's why I always tell people, you know what, I understand the love and affection you have for that man. So I never want Eden Hazard to be manager of Chelsea. I never want that to happen. Or even Didier. Either one of them become manager, I most probably will be deluded like some other people and start saying, no. But sentiment kills clubs, man. The first reason is a simple one. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We lack an identity. As a team yesterday, we were lacking identity in every way. We weren't battling for Frank, we weren't creating for Frank, and nor were the team trying for Frank. And it was very evident. The only time we created something was when we went through the middle and Pulisic almost won a penalty, or Hudson-Odoi got that shot that hit the side netting. Every other time we followed Frank Lampard's identity of getting the ball wide and crossing it at, like, on a spamming basis, nothing good came about it. And part of the reason is because they're not coached, they're not drilled, and I will explain this point now. An experienced manager, the one thing that you have is the pattern of play that you build up throughout the years. The problem here is Frank is a new manager. He's got a young squad and a young coaching staff. You add the 3 together, and I'm not going to lie to you, that's a recipe for disaster, especially in such a competitive Premier League at this moment in time. With all the restrictions that are occurring, the games that are coming thick and fast, the one thing you need is the man at the helm who knows what he's doing. Frank doesn't. He's learning on the job. Is it fair to judge him so quickly? No. But is it fair that he got the job of our dreams? That we, as Chelsea fans, this is the highest job in world football for us. And he got it with 0 experience. For me, I think it's time to go. And that's the first reason. A lack of identity after 18 months is unacceptable. Second reason is the transfer market came and he got exactly what he wanted. He was backed in that transfer market like no other manager in the Premier League this season was. 250 million to bring him 7 players that got us all excited to the point where a lot of us were talking about title races. I was one of those people, and for the reason why, because I think our squad is good enough to win this title. If we had an adequate manager, we would be in this title race. However, we don't. We have a guy that's learning on the job, and it's sad. I don't want to criticize him, but it's getting to that point. And he's not getting the best out of these players. When we realistically actually break it down, it will surprise you. These summer signings aren't doing as well as a lot of people think they are. Whilst the signing of Mendy and Thiago Silva are flourishing and are showing the world what they're made of, Ben Chilwell has regressed, in my opinion, from the player that he was last year, and it's the player that I thought he was in the past. Now, he's not good. He's basic. He's bang average. He can't pass forward. He can't take a man on. And he playing in a shell of, I will delegate pressure. Anytime I need to take responsibility and act on it, I will delegate it. Hakim Ziyech came in, looked great, but without a structure, team sussed him out. They let him cross it in because we have no threat. Timo Werner missed some inexplicable chances over and over again, but yet he's not playing for the manager anymore. Kai Havertz is hardly getting his shot. Yesterday he was played, but with those tactics, he was basically not played towards. We didn't build a team around him, as we should when you invest that much money. Which makes me question, do these players even want to play for it? Think about it. The whole idea of meritocracy was one of the reasons why a lot of us were excited last year. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I was gassed, when he was talking about players will play based on merit. And I start seeing Tammy playing because Tammy's scoring goals. I start seeing Mount playing because Mount is performing. But when this season comes around and you've got so much talent in the squad, and players like Mount or Tammy or Giroud or Hudson-Odoi, if they're playing bad, there is an alternative for them. So when Tammy goes through a drought and you don't use Giroud, but Giroud's scoring goals and still gets benched, or Callum comes in and performs fantastic and gets dropped, you start not using the logic that you were using in the past. When you start rapping different lyrics and the guy starts getting put in the team, you're like, what? Yeah, that's not what I say. How can he be so he says one thing but does the complete other? And for me, that is disgusting. I hate that in people. If you got it wrong, you got it wrong. Just own up to it. Let's take, for example, his decisions yesterday. You need to win the game and you opt for Tammy Abraham. You need to win the game and you play Kai Havertz with Mason Mount, where we all know it doesn't work. Why? And this is the biggest one. Reece was injured yesterday, right? You could tell. The way Reece played, he looked injured. And I don't care what anyone says. But the biggest point, how can Rudiger go from 5th choice to 3rd choice in a matter of weeks when he's hardly played properly? Realistically speaking, how can Tomori be revamped and sent on loan to AC Milan, but Antonio Rudiger, he's our number 1 centre back in the biggest game of the season? Let that sink in. If that doesn't due a sacking, I don't know what does. If that doesn't earn you a sacking, I didn't get my words out there, what does? Final reason, and the biggest in my opinion, Frank Lampard consistently throwing players under the bus is the reason why he's going to get sacked. He's throwing too many players under the bus, and you know the formula. Players don't get replaced, gaffers do. Players don't get replaced, managers do. And why is that? Because it's easier to get rid of you, Frank, than it is of 7, 8, 9, 10 players. And it's even easier to get rid of you when you got 7 players in one transfer window. You got everything and anything. No one can tell me, we didn't sign Declan Rice. So what? What does that even mean? What? So if Declan Rice came in and broke his leg, God forbid, the next game, we're meant to say right off the season, Declan's not playing. He's lost the players in his interviews by the way he speaks and throws them under the bus. Yesterday was a prime example of what he said. You guys already know what he said. Look, like I said at the start of the video, I don't want an Allegri, but I am interested in a Rodgers. You saw how great he was yesterday. I am interested in a Tuchel, and Nagelsmann I could live with. Those 3 are my choices. You give me an Enrique, I can cope with it. I'll live with it. I do not want an Allegri, I reiterate. I do not want an defensive style Simeone. I don't want none of that. I want expansive football. I want someone who's going to give us patterns of play. Go get Maurizio Sarri again. I loved Sarri the first time around, but it is what it is. That's a video for another day. This was the Kafka's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe. Like I said, 200 likes is the target. But realistically speaking, let's end on a happy note. We could get our club back soon. So, let's go, boys.